Let us discuss some more options in the Extrude tool. So for that, let us edit this hole or this pocket that we have made, which is actually this feature. So I can double click on this feature, and instead of giving a depth, when I say all, it is going to cut all the material that comes on its way in this direction. So when I click OK, you can see that it has cut throughout it. Now when I make modifications to this body, this will always be cutting throughout. For example, I can actually edit the sketch, and I can say that this height is 400 and then click on Finish Sketch. So now you can see that this plane has changed, our sketching plane. So the hole went up, and from there it has cut throughout. Or even if I change this height or this depth, everything else gets modified according to the dimensions that we have given. So this is the most important feature of parametric modeling, which we will discuss a little bit later, because we consider length, height, and all as our aspects rather than our location from one point to the other point. So this will anyway be discussed later. So now you can see how my features have changed according to the dimensions given. Now if you want to change the sketch in this workspace itself, what we can do is we can go to the sketches, and here by default whenever we perform an operation on a sketch, it becomes hidden. So if you again want to make some changes to the sketch, you can definitely go back and double click here, or you can make it visible over here. And when I make that visible, I'm not able to see its dimensions. So right click and say Show Dimensions. So here we have the option called Show Dimension. So from the 3D workspace itself, I'll be able to make changes. Making changes in constraints is not possible right now, but we can make changes to the dimensions. For example, I can make this say 1000. So dynamically everything changes. So I'm going to keep this back to 200, right? So, and for any sketch we can do this. So now it is good if I hide the sketch and hide this origin. Now we have seen options on how we can select a sketching plane. Now here in Construct, we have different ways of how we can have our own planes. That is, we can construct the planes even if they are not available. Currently, we have seen that we can select planes from this origin, and also a face of any straight face we can select as our sketching plane. But if we need any more sketching planes, we can also construct them. So from here, I'm going to select offset plane. So using offset plane, I can select a face and then offset it. So parallel to this existing plane, I can create another plane. Let's say I'm doing it at 275 mm. Now I'm going to select this as my sketching plane. And here, let's say I'm going to choose a polygon. So here I have a polygon, and I'm just not going to dimension anything because you have already seen how to do that. I'm just clicking Finish Sketch and then come back here. Because sketches part was hidden, I'm not able to see this. Let us hide the other sketches we do not want. And now I have this hexagon. Let's say I have to extrude this hexagon up to this. Okay, so for that I'm selecting this and then go for extrude. So we have seen that the distance I have extruded is 275. So I can directly give this value as 275, right? So I can give it as 275. But instead, I'm going to use another option. So I have cancelled that one. Now again pick extrude what I'm going to say is, when it is saying distance, I will say to object. When I select to object, I'm going to select this plane. So till this plane, I need that extrusion. Or I can even select some other plane. If at all I had another box on this, till that I can select. So then click OK. So this is another option available in the Extrude dialog box. All our construction planes or other construction elements are going to be available in this construction folder under our browser. So I'm going to highlight this plane again, and I'm going to select this plane, and I'm going for create sketch. This time I would like to write some text over here. So I'm going to write here, and it's going to be fusion. So I'm going to increase this height. Okay, and then we can position it. This is okay for me, and then I'm going to click OK. Okay, then go for finish sketch. Now this one I have used for making it orthographic so that I can see the complete picture. Then we can select the sketch first, or we can select it after selecting the extrude tool. Now I'm able to extrude this. I can even extrude it up to this place, right? So, but if you see, instead of this, I can get it as join option, but I want to extrude it in a way that it looks like it is being extruded from that plane itself. So for that, I'm just clicking cancel, and I'm again going to go for extrude. This time you select this text, and instead of profile plane, go for from object. When you go from object, I'm going to select this body. Okay, so from here, I want it to be extruded to, let's say, 2 mm. Then you can see the direction, how it is coming. I can make it more so that you can see this clearly. It is coming in a slanted way, that is, it is being parallel to this plane. So I'm making it 2. And then click OK. So you can see I have got as if this has been engraved on this fusion. And also we have one more option left in Extrude, that is, instead of the sketching plane, I can give an offset plane from where it has to be extruded. For example, let me select this as my sketching plane, and I'm going to draw some closed entity. And the most important part is, always you have to have a closed entity for extrusion. You cannot extrude an open entity. For example, if I'm going to draw a line like this and then click OK, I will not be able to select this for extrusion. So it has to be a closed figure. So I'm going to delete this one. Instead, let me actually make this triangle also, and then click finish sketch. So now I'm able to select these two together, and then I can go to extrude, and instead of selecting profile plane, I can select an offset plane. What offset plane means is, instead of this plane, I can select a distance from this, which will be actually parallel to this, and from there it will start the extrusion. Let's say I have given it as 50. So from 50, the distance should be 100. Then click OK. So you can see, so from the sketching plane, I can give a distance from where it can extrude. Now we have seen how we have created these extrusions. Let me select a new file. So in this, I'm not going to give any specific dimensions, but I want to show you an option which is going to save our time. So these sketches are going to look something similar to what we have done, right? And here we had a triangle in this plane, and then go for finish sketch. So now what I'm going to do is I can select extrusion, and then I can extrude this. So when I extrude this, you can see how it is coming now. I wanted a through hole, so this should be selected, but these two should not be selected. So I'm going to click on these parts so that they become solid. Then click OK. Okay, and now because our sketch is hidden, let us make it visible. And from here, I can select this one and this one. And then go for extrude and go for offset plane. And from the offset plane, we can give some other distance, right? Of course, I'll not give the same dimensions as this, but by using the same sketch, I have saved so much of time. So whenever there are any entities that are available in the same plane, that is parallel planes, we can use this option. So the same sketch can be used multiple times if we have to do multiple extrusions, but we can sketch everything at a time in a single sketch. So now instead of this, let me say I do not want to select this one. Again, I'm making it as solid. So for this one, I can go for extrude, give it some other distance. I can even make it some pocket. And here I can give angle also for this. So independently, you can see with the same sketch, I have created different extrusions, but this saves a lot of time. But I will not be able to create the other two entities because they belong to different sketching plane. But for offset planes and planes which are parallel, we can use the same sketch and extrude as we wish.